Ah, I'm doing this video because the YouTube channel Nathan on Shuffle is the name of his channel. He did I've got it right here, his top 25 best prog albums of all time, listing only one album per group, so 25 different groups. So he was only going to do one album, so you don't have multiple albums from one group. So I decided to make my top 10 off the top of my head, and I have the comment on his channel. I'm going to give you his top 10, and then I'm going to give you my top 10. I think he accidentally left one off, but we'll see. I left a comment. We'll see what he says, because they weren't in his top 25, and I don't know how they're not in his top 25. Maybe I'm like, did I miss it? I'm double checking, but Nathan on Shuffle has a wonderful channel. Usually on Sundays, he and his wife listen to a progressive piece of music. They shuffle a song, and she's never really listened to prog, and so she's listening to it for the first time, and she gives you her thoughts about it, and she usually likes it. So it's very, very neat channel called Nathan on Shuffle. Hope you check it out. But his top 10, I'll say the album too. The album, which album is your favorite is neither here nor there. But number 10 is Renaissance, and it's the Scheherazade and Other Stories album from 1975. Number 9 is Camel. He chose their album Mirage. Number 8 is a band called PFM, and the album is Per un Amico from 1972. Very interesting music. I'd never heard it before. Number 7 is Gentle Giant. The album he chose, so this is his favorite, is In a Glass House. I'm not real familiar with them. I mean, I know of them, and I've listened to them a little bit, but not a lot. Same with Camel. I've only listened to Camel and Gentle Giant a little bit. Number 6, he put Rush, and he chose Hemispheres, which that might be their best album. It's either that or 2112. I think some people might say A Farewell to Kings might go there. Some people might put Moving Pictures up there. I wouldn't put them over Hemispheres or 2112, but Farewell to Kings would be probably third for me. Probably third. All right, his top 5 picks are King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King from 1969, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here from 1975, Jethro Tull, Thick as a Brick from 1972, Genesis, Selling England by the Pound from 1973, and we all knew his number 1 would be Close to the Edge by Yes from 1972. So before seeing this list, I did this. I made my list when he was doing numbers 15 through 11, which I'll say real quickly. Wobbler, Vandergraaf Generator, Dream Theater, Anglagard, never heard of that, and Steven Wilson was his 15 through 11. Here's my top 10. I'll try not to spend too much time on it. But I did this off the top of my head, but I don't think I missed anything. Number 10 is, you're not expecting, it's Houses of the Holy by Led Zeppelin. Now you say, that's ridiculous. That's not progressive rock. Kind of is. The Rain song I consider to be progressive rock. Anyone want to disagree with me that the Rain song by Led Zeppelin isn't progressive rock? The other one, okay, maybe not, but I think No Quarter qualifies. I think those 2 songs qualify as progressive rock, and that's why they made my list. It was just something I thought was interesting and should be noted. If you disagree with me, please leave a comment. Let's have a discussion, a civil discussion where we disagree on friendly terms, on good terms where we talk to each other, okay? For me, number 9 is the Genesis album, Selling England by the Pound. I'm not a huge Genesis fan. I've never gotten into them a lot. That might be partly because Phil Collins' Genesis of the 80s annoyed me to no end. There were some things I liked about 80s Genesis, just as there are some things I like about 80s Yes. But boy, for progressive rock to stop playing progressive rock because it's the 80s now and we can't. I don't know what the reasoning was. Well, we can't make any money. You didn't make prog rock to make money. I mean, you made money, but come on. Why did all prog rock bands, Rush, even King Crimson in the 80s changed up? Yes, every one of them. And they stopped doing what they were doing in the 70s. Why? Because it's a different decade and you have to change your music? Why? I don't get that. Oh, we have to sound like the 80s. So you're following trends, not creating trends. You're not being your true, authentic selves. You have to go with the times. Is that what they were doing in the 70s? Was King Crimson going with the times when they wrote 21st Century Schizoid Man? How about Epitaph? How about Starless? How about One More Red Nightmare? Were they just going with the times? But in the 80s, we see a whole different kind of King Crimson. Still good. It's still good, but it wasn't the same. Some people, well, the Red album was number one, but some people don't like the Yellow and the Blue album. I like all three of them, but not like I like 21st Century Schizoid Man and Red and others. But the Red album was Discipline. It was called Discipline. It was great. All right, so Genesis makes number 9. I had to include them in the top 10, even though they're not high on my list. Number 8 is the Left Overture album by Kansas. And again, you're going to say that's not prog rock. Their hit, God, why am I blank on the hit, is proggy. It's kind of a blend of prog and just regular normal rock. Carry On Wayward Son. But their progressive piece is Magnum Opus. And their other progressive piece from a different album is Song for America. Listen to Song for America if you haven't by Kansas. It's 10 minutes. It's progressive rock. Listen to Incomudro Hymn to the Atman. It's progressive rock. It's great. Incomudro Hymn to the Atman? Yeah. So that's number 8. Number 7 is Renaissance, and I chose Ashes Are Burning. Nathan might be right. Again, I'm not really up to speed on these albums. The Scheherazade album might be their best, but Ashes Are Burning is their most famous piece, and that is just a phenomenal piece, so I just chose that album. It's one or the other. And I chose at number 6 is 2112 by Rush. Interesting that we both have Rush as number 6. Maybe he's right, and Hemispheres is their best as far as progressive rock. I can go either way. And then I would say Farewell to Kings, and then maybe Moving Pictures would be fourth. But I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure about that. Because I like Caress of Steel. I like Fly By Night. I like early Rush. Heck, I like their first album. But now we're going to be the top 5. And this was tough. I almost made Rush number 5. But instead I chose UK's first album, simply titled UK. Most people don't know the album. It's phenomenal. It is prog rock at its finest. Alan Holdsworth has one of, if not the greatest guitar solos in prog rock history. Look up what Bill Bruford said about it. It's phenomenal. I should read it, but I'm not going to take the time to look it up. But something like, he called it something to the effect of 2 minutes of pure guitar bliss that you're ever likely to hear, or something like that. Guitar bliss or liquid bliss. I forget his exact words. It was a great quote. And it was all improvised. Total improvisation. The problem with Alan Holdsworth is when they would go to perform in concerts, he didn't want to play it the same way, and they had to convince him to keep playing it the same way because the people wanted to hear that solo. And he's like, I don't want to play that solo. I just want to make up another solo. And this is why Alan always left bands. He was kind of a restless spirit. He hated doing the same thing over and over again. He had to keep changing, which is unfortunate. It was his downfall ultimately. He couldn't stay with anybody. So number 4, and this is where I'm very confused by Nathan's list, because not only did it not make his top 5, it's not even in his top 25, and I think this is just an oversight on his part. Trilogy by ELP. I mean, we can argue, I have something in my mouth, we can argue about which is their best album, but ELP is not in your top 25? Nathan, surely this was just an oversight. Number 4 for me, Trilogy is phenomenal. Several of their albums are phenomenal. Most of their albums are just amazing. Now, let me see, where did he put Pink Floyd? Pink Floyd was number 4, and he used the album Wish You Were Here. I'm not going to argue with that. It's a great choice. For me, Pink Floyd is number 3. My favorite album by Pink Floyd is Animals. My favorite song, or piece of music, I should say, since it's 17 minutes long, is Dogs. But I could see easily saying that Sheep is their best piece. It's between those two for me. Those are their 2 best pieces of music I've ever heard by them. And there's a ton of great music by Pink Floyd. But Animals by Pink Floyd is number 3 for me. Let me just see who he put. Yeah, he had Jethro Tull at number 3. Jethro Tull did not make my list. Maybe they should be number 10 instead of my Led Zeppelin pick, but you know, I was trying to be different. And we're obviously going to agree on number 1. He had King Crimson at number 5. For me, it's number 2. In the Court of the Crimson King is one of the greatest albums of all time. When John Anderson and Yes first heard King Crimson, John Anderson looked at the guys and said, "We need to practice more." King Crimson blew everybody off the map. They were like, what the hell is this? What's going on? No one could believe what they were hearing. We need to practice more? And number 1 is Close to the Edge by Yes. Nathan and I completely agree about that. So, I mean, we've got 3 of the top 5 were in agreement. Yes, King Crimson, Pink Floyd. But Nathan said King Crimson wouldn't actually make his top 5. He felt he had to do it. Gentle Giant would have made his top 5. He doesn't. It doesn't resonate with him like it does with others. And I'm like, then you should have made it 6. I don't think it would have been wrong to make it 6. He felt like he had to put him in the top 5 because of the significance of the album. Yeah, Nathan, but you know what? If your list says it's number 6, then make it number 6. I see why he did it, but he made it. He let us all know it. They don't resonate with me like it. That's so I said, I wonder if you've listened to all of their music. I don't know if he has. He's listened to way more music than I listen to. He's listened to way more stuff. He listens to all the current stuff. And he makes videos about the current stuff. Like what's coming out now. So this guy's heavily invested in listening to music. Another person who's listening to music all the time, he does like 3 music reactions a day, is Just JP. I have no idea how this man can listen to all that music all the time. It's crazy. He listens to stuff I've never heard of. No clue what it is. It's wild. And he doesn't just listen to progressive rock. He loves Yes. He loves Genesis. He loves King Crimson, Pink Floyd. He loves all of them. Same UK. He's listened to all of the UK music. So all reactions for both UK albums. There's still a couple things from a live album that he needs to listen to, and I don't know if he ever will. We'll see. He's listened to Renaissance, Kansas. I mean, you name it, he's listened to it. He's listened to more things than I care to think about. But Close to the Edge is the greatest album ever. In the Court of the Crimson King is the second greatest album ever. And I think Animals is the third greatest album ever. It's hard to say, though. I might put another Yes album as number 3, but I'm not sure. That's tough. Relayer is my second favorite Yes album, followed by Fragile. then the Yes album, then Going for the One, then Tales from Topographic Oceans. I think Topographic Oceans is number 2 on Nathan's list of favorite Yes albums. So he moves it up really well. And the other thing you need to do, if you're a fan of progressive rock, is go to Nathan's channel and look up his interview with his dad. His dad describes Yes in the perfect way. He goes through each member. Best description of that band, the Fab Five, when Bruford was the drummer. Best description I've ever heard. I don't know if he mentions Alan White. I'm sure they talk about Alan White, because Alan White was the main drummer for longer than Bruford. But his description of Yes is just, it's so good. I don't want to say anything. Go to Nathan on Shuffle, look up the video where he interviews his dad, and listen to it. It's phenomenal. It's just amazing. Geez, I've already talked for 16 minutes. So much for making a short video. I just don't know how to do them. Hope you enjoyed my list, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.